Hello, thanks for coming back. We were in the middle of graphing this. I just didn't want to get totally interrupted. I'm going to scoot my picture over here. Ooh, how fancy am I? Okay, now we can see everything. So the y-intercept was 4. The slope was up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3. We decided in this case that we had a solid line because my inequality symbol was underlined. And now I need to decide where to shade. And the way we decide where to shade is we plug in the point 0, 0. So that means I'm gonna make x be 0 and y be 0 in my equation, and I'm gonna see if it's true. I'm gonna do that work over here. Y is 0, so 0 is less than or equal to 1/3 times 0 plus 4. And then we do the math. 1/3 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. So on this side, everything goes away except for the 4, because multiplying by 0 makes that fraction go away. And then I have to think, is this true? Is 0 smaller than 4? And in this case, it's true. That is a true statement. And then if you remember from before, we shade where it's true. We shade where it's true. And so here's the point 0, 0. Since it's true where 0, 0 is, we're going to shade, and this is the fun part. We get to color in this entire side of the graph. Instead of just coloring in one direction of the number line, for a linear inequality, we shade the entire half of the graph. And so I shaded everything below the line because 0, 0 was true. It was true, and so we have to shade there. If it was false, we would shade on the opposite side. We would have shaded away from 0, 0. Okay, let's try this one. Y is greater than 2x. I'm going to change this. 2x plus 3. I'm going to make it a plus 3. Just for fun. Okay, so go back to remembering how to graph a line. My y-intercept here is 3 and my slope is 2. To make that a fraction, we put it over 1. And then we graph the y-intercept. And then my slope is rise 2, run 1. And then we have the same things. Is it a solid or a dashed line? After we decide what kind of line it is, we have to decide where to shade. And we decide where to shade by plugging in the point 0, 0. To decide if it's solid or dashed, we look at the inequality sign. This inequality symbol is not underlined, which means it's a dashed line. And what that looks like is we just, instead of connecting the points with a solid line, we connect them with a dotted line. This is a little bit hard to remember when you're graphing an inequality, but you got to pay close attention. And then we have to decide where to shade. To do that, we plug in the point 0, 0. So I make x equals 0 and y equals 0. And I'm looking to see if it's true. So into this equation, I change both of my letters to be 0. 0 is greater than 2 times 0 plus 3. Then 2 times 0 is 0, so I'm left with 0 is bigger than 3. Then I have to think, is that true? Is 0 bigger than 3? And in this case, that's false. It's not true. That's not true. So when I go to my point 0, 0, I have to shade where it's true. And 0, 0, we just discovered, is a false statement, which means I don't shade where 0, 0 is. I have to go to the other side of the line. And I shade the whole other side of the line because 0, 0 was false. When 0, 0 is true, sorry, I'm getting all these notifications. When 0, 0 is true, we shade where the origin is. When 0, 0 is false, we shade on the other side of the line. We'll practice this a lot during class. Thanks.